First half of 2021 is already over. That's crazy. And since it's the first of the month or the beginning of July, that means we have sales numbers not only for June, but of the entire first part of 2021 to the first half. And guess what? Toyota beat out General Motors here in the United States for the top selling automaker in the second quarter. What the heck? Crazy times in the automotive industry, chip shortages, just all sorts of supply chain interruptions, with boats getting stuck, shipping containers getting stuck in harbors around the world. Like, it is just a bizarre thing going on right now, amongst other things, as you guys know. But we're going to talk about cars today and the sales numbers from the first half of 2021. Grab your snacks and drinks, buckle in. This video is going to be a long one. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. We have so much stuff to go over, but we're starting with automotive news because they've kind of condensed all that information out there of all the manufacturers into one graph. And then we're going to get into the individual companies from there, with all the Japanese cars first. Then we'll touch on the Korean cars after that. All of them are pretty much crushing it right now. And then Volvo. Well, I've added Volvo. I've got an XC90 recharge in the garage right now, recharging. So we'll talk about Volvo at the very end. So that's the agenda. Make sure you have your snacks and drinks. Over automotive news, rebound rolls on, but failing or falling supplies ding Ford and Subaru. Wait till you see Ford's numbers. It's quite shocking. But Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, and Kia continue to rack up U.S. sales gains 33% or more in June. And look at this delicious graph that Automotive News puts out for us. So make sure to check out their website. I am happy to pay their monthly subscription fee to get hands-on, and just they provide great information. Anyways, back to this graph. Let's just start from the top, and we're going to cover everything that is really just sticking out to me, whether it's what I cover on this channel or not, because this is the way it is. BMW is up 52%. Therefore, Mini is up around 50%. Rolls-Royce even doing okay. I'm telling you, half of them are down here in South Florida. So BMW as a whole, though, is up about 52%. Ford only up 4.6% as a whole since last year. That should never happen, because last year was the pandemic. Crazy things were happening. Dealerships were shutting down. Communities were shutting down, and Ford is only up 4.5%. You can thank the supply chain for that, but also their own short-sightedness, and they just don't have access to the chips and stuff that they need in the supply chain. So Ford, yikes, shooting themselves in the foot. GM, though, they had a really good second quarter. Check this out. A 39% up in the second quarter, and as a total of this year, up about 20%, but they rebounded pretty big in the second quarter. Buick, up 61%, doing well this year. Cadillac doing really well, over 36% there. Chevy, though, almost kind of like Ford here. So it looks like they're allocating those chips maybe more towards Buick and Cadillac models that maybe have higher gross profit margins on them, would be my guess. But General Motors only up about 20%, which is pretty modest in the grand scheme of things. Looking at Honda, we'll dive into Honda in depth in a little bit. Up 40+%. Honda around 39%, and Acura, I can't wait to talk about Acura. Love talking about them on the channel. Up 58%, crushing it. Genesis just up 156%. Largely because they're one crossover right now. I don't even think the GV70 is out yet here in America, due to the supply chain being a complete mess right now. But the GV80 is outselling the entire Genesis sedan lineup. It accounts for 55% of Genesis total sales right now, the GV80. So yes, that is why the sales numbers are just out of control. Up 200% for the second quarter. Just yes. Yes, and it's scary to see where things will go when the GV70 comes out, their electric vehicle as well. Hyundai brand themselves, not total, but Hyundai brand, 49% up. Hyundai and Genesis combined, up 52%. Kia Motors, up 43%, another massive number. And Hyundai, Kia combined, they are up 48%. Koreans, man, they are not messing around. They are just crushing it right now. And who knows? Who knows how long this rampage is going to last for them? But going on to Mazda, we don't need to talk about Jaguar, Land Rover. We don't talk about those guys on the channel right now. Anyways, Mazda up 47%, and you have to keep in mind, them being up 40% is bigger than everything you see on here other than Tesla and Volvo. And the reason is Mazda, Tesla, Volvo last year were the only brands to be around neutral or positive. So them being up about 47% is huge. Mitsubishi gaining a little bit of traction. We'll touch on Mitsubishi shortly today. The Mirage is kicking butt. So overall up about 12%. Infiniti, oh my gosh. Well, they had a decent second quarter. They're up 11%, but on the year, they're still minus 11%. And we'll dive into why. It's all due to the QX60, really. So we'll dive into that a little bit later. Nissan up 39% by themselves, but when you factor in Infiniti, it's down, or it's only up 34%. When you factor in Mitsubishi, who is not doing that hot overall, they're up 32% as a total. So not as bad as General Motors, which is only up about 20%, and definitely not as bad as Ford, which is only up 4%. So Nissan is doing what they can with new products and such to get the ball rolling. Alfa Romeo, okay. Chrysler, okay. They're up 33%. Fiat, I can't believe they're still in the country. Like, do you guys know anyone who buys a Fiat? The fact that they're still selling vehicles here is just mind-blowing to me. Jeep, 13% up. Maserati, 27%. Ram, up 31%. Stellantis as a total, not doing that hot either. Subaru, only up 20%, but look at quarter two. It's down compared to where they were in quarter one in terms of recovery. So, man, the quarter one was better than their second quarter for them to be up 20%. But man, Subaru getting hit hard by the supply chain as well. Tesla up 71%. They continue to just grow and grow and grow, and they will continue to grow and grow and grow until there are ample and reasonable EV alternatives on the market. They still don't have really much competition out there, in my opinion. So until we get mass competition from Tesla, they'll continue to grow. So my expectation is these big sales growth numbers will continue for the next 3 to 4 years. And then there will be enough competition on the market where their numbers will definitely be below 50% of annual growth. That's just my guess, but hey, time will tell, right? Lexus up about 50%. And they're almost eclipsed here by Tesla. So Tesla's knocking on the door as a premium brand. They really are their own niche. I wouldn't call Tesla a premium brand. I would call them their own thing. They're an electric brand. So yes, you guys can argue that out in the comments, whether they're a premium brand or not. They have premium prices, they have premium acceleration, but not necessarily premium in other ways. So Toyota, on the other hand, massive company, up 44% on the first half. Look at this second quarter. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. The second quarter for Toyota up 74% compared to the second quarter of last year. Looking at the combination of Toyota and Lexus, because Lexus also had a smashing second quarter as well, with 65% up. If you combine Toyota and Lexus, 688,812 units compared to the champ, which is General Motors, which has under 684,000. So Toyota has taken the crown, at least in the second quarter, for the most voluminous sales for a automaker in the United States. It's just crazy. Now, if you look at the total, first 6 months, General Motors at 1.32 million vehicles, and Toyota is getting close at 1.29. And by the end of this, if Toyota keeps this up, there's no doubt they will be the number one automaker, not only in the world, which they were last year, they'll be the number one automaker in terms of volume here in the United States, passing General Motors. We know Ford's out of the equation at this point. I can't believe that. That is unbelievable. So let's keep going. We need to finish out this list. You guys know I like the Porsches. I've been talking about them a little bit here and there on the channel. Haven't included them into the fold quite yet, but if I am going to expand in the future again after Volvo, I feel like Porsche would be the next one I just cover brands I like covering. And Volkswagen is very interesting right now. After Dieselgate, they're going full electric as fast as they possibly can. The ID Buzz minivan, that is kind of like a retro design of the original Volkswagen bus. I want that electric bus. It doesn't come out for a few more years, but that thing is going to be amazing. I want it for my family, but who knows? If Toyota or Honda come out with a plug-in hybrid minivan, I'm okay with that as well. I'm not going to get the Pacifica plug-in hybrid. You guys know I wouldn't do that. But Volkswagen up 50% on the half of the year compared to last year. Porsche up 50%. Audi is doing really, really well, up 60% for Audi. Look at their second quarter, up 92%. Audi, good for them. Porsche doing well. They're just steady. They're kind of like Lexus. They have their buyers, and those buyers are steady. They know what they like. Volkswagen, though, had a big second quarter, up 72%. And for the whole first half so far, Volkswagen at 372,000 units. Toyota at 1.3 million units or so. Subaru at 320,000 units. Stellantis about 958,000 units. Nissan plus Mitsubishi and Infiniti over 630,000 units. Mazda clawing in there with about 190,000 units. It's getting there. Hyundai and Kia over 800,000 units. They're knocking on Honda's doors here with 833,000 units. General Motors with the number one spot for total sales, not quarter two. Toyota passed them in quarter two, and it looks like they're probably going to pass them in quarter three and quarter four at this rate. But yeah, General Motors is still number one after the first half comes to a close. Ford slowing down. They're definitely a distant third at this point behind Toyota and General Motors, and then BMW getting in there with around 184,000 units. That brings the first partition of this video to a close. If you need to use the potty, go ahead and do that. But we're going to roll into the highlights of Toyota next. Toyota Newsroom. Toyota Motor North America reports U.S. June and first half sales of 2021. And this is kind of confusing for me because they're adding new words or abbreviations. Acronyms. Is that the right word? Alternative powered vehicles. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around APVs. Because I don't think any other automaker is using APV, but yeah, I thought it stood for all-purpose vehicle initially, which you guys probably would have guessed that too, but it's alternative powered vehicles. That includes hybrids, EVs, fuel cells. Accounted for 22.2% of total monthly sales in the month of June, which is an all-time record for APVs. And for the first half, the alternative powered vehicles sales totaled almost 300,000 vehicles, representing 23% of the total year-to-date sales. This was the best ever first half of APVs for TMNA, and it'll get like that every single year because they're going to be selling more hybrids, more plug-in hybrids, more electric cars, more fuel cells every single year. So this is kind of like them introducing APVs into the equation so they can just keep breaking this record every single year until every single vehicle. Well, here's the thing. If the APVs are outselling traditional ICE, they're no longer alternative powered vehicles. They're the main powered vehicle, and then ICE will be the alternative powered vehicle. That's a mind F right there. I don't know if Toyota's looked that far into the future with the use of alternative powered vehicles. Anyways, Toyota division posted June sales of 180,000 vehicles, up 41%. Now, yes, we can talk about all these highlights, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to put you to sleep. I probably have already. But wake up, guys. We're going to talk about some individual car sales. And we can talk about month to date, which, whatever. I want to look at the bigger picture year to date, and that's going to be this column on the far right. So like I said, Lexus up about 47% this year, Toyota up about 44%, and as a whole about 44.5%. Super sales are up 98%. 8.6 sales are down 23%. Just wait till we get the redesign. By the way, I'm going to New York in August to drive the new GR86 on the track. So that'll be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for the channel for my hands-on driving impressions. Can't wait to drive it. I've been in it with Ken Gucci. That was ridiculous, amazing. I don't expect myself to be able to nail the course like he did, but yes. Anyways, Mirai up 664% because of that second generation, which I drove when I was in Plano, Texas. Excellent car. Felt like a Lexus. Materials maybe not quite as good, but finish was right up there with a Lexus. Ride quality and driving mechanics were right up there as well. To me, it felt like a combination between an ES and a GS in terms of how it drove. So moving on, Avalon up. That's surprising. Avalon up 36% on the year. Prius up 90% on the year. Am I missing something? I might be missing something here. That's crazy. Maybe they're, I think they're giving a lot of good incentives on the Prius. That's a possibility. Camry up 41%. Jeez, gosh, where does the good news end for them? IS. Now let's switch to Lexus cars. IS up 163%. This morning, depending on when you guys are watching this, but earlier this morning, I made a video on how the IS and the RC were just canceled in Australia. They've already been canceled in Europe, outside of a couple places that still have the RCF. So it's an absolute travesty. The IS will continue to be produced, I guess, in Japan, for Japan, and here in the United States and Canada. And maybe that's, I don't know where, I just don't know. It's really, really sad. So there has to be a new IS in theory around the corner, or they're just going to make a Frankenstein out of the ES. Anyways, I don't want to get into all that right now. Even though coupes aren't doing well, the RC is up. Again, remember, this is all post-pandemic comparisons here. ES, the best-selling sedan, up 34%. GS, rest in peace. LS up 58%. Wow. Yes, don't want to get into the LS, but the LC, why is the LC up 280%? Well, there's a convertible now on the market, and the convertible should have been launched when the LC came out. So there's been pent-up demand for the convertible. It is the ultimate form of the LC. Watch my review on the LC convertible. It is just a perfect vehicle. $112,000, but it is a perfect vehicle outside of that price tag. CHR has not been canceled yet in the United States. When we saw the reveal of the Corolla Cross, Toyota said the Corolla Cross is not replacing the CHR. So maybe we get some sort of hybrid CHR, all-wheel drive CHR would be nice, even though the Corolla Cross will take those sales. And if we get a GR CHR, that's a mouthful. That would give it some spice, some coolness. RAV4 up 20%. It's already the #1 selling crossover here in the United States. Highlander. It's crazy how many Highlanders they sell. It's up 83%. 144,000 Highlanders. 4Runner up 21%. They're just never going to give us a new 4Runner at this point. They're just like, oh, it's already selling like crazy. Same thing. Well, the Sequoia had a rough year last year, but it's good to see that's having some sort of rebound. And probably a little bit of that rebound might be, okay, well, I don't want to pay sticker over for the Land Cruiser, which has been canceled, which is up 184%, by the way, go figure. So they're like, okay, I'll just buy a Sequoia, get the same V8. Maybe that's what's going on. Sienna up 235%. People been waiting for a minivan that gets 35 miles per gallon. It can get better than that. So that's the crazy thing. Sienna 235%. To me, like I said, the Sienna, as much as I love the fuel economy, there's a few things about the vehicle that just hold it back as a family man. The Honda minivan would be my #1 choice right now if I were to buy a new minivan. But if the Sienna came out with a plug-in hybrid, I couldn't say no to it. Anyways, let's keep reading. Tacoma, 33% up. Tundra down 10%. They're probably restricting volume on it, largely because things are retooling for the new Tundra this year. And then going to the Lexus truck side of things, UX up about 30%, NX up about 41%. I'm pretty sure there is some good incentives on the NX out there to clear stock for the redesigned NX coming soon. RX up 53%, their best-selling crossover up 54%. It got that 2020 refresh with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a touchscreen, a little bit redesigned exterior. And that's probably all people wanted. They're happy with it, and it continues to sell like hotcakes. GX. Good luck finding a GX. I know they're really hard to get your hands on right now. Their supply is not great. And by the way, Toyota and Lexus have the lowest, I guess, stock sales time. So meaning the amount of time a car spends on the lot, Toyota and Lexus in general only have about, I forget what the right word is, but they only have about 9 to 10 days, somewhere around there, where a car sits on the lot before it's sold, which is the fastest in the industry. And that's what is worrisome for General Motors at this point in time. The LX, still, even the LX up 26%. We should be getting a new LX by the end of the year, at least an announcement. Possible availability of the LX by the end of this year, depending on who you want to listen to. So here are their APVs, alternative power vehicles, and there are a lot of them. I mean, yeah, I talked about the Sienna hybrid. They've sold 56,000 Siennas. Remember, The Sienna's only hybrid now, so they've sold 50, almost 57,000 Siennas. All right, so that's really pumping up these APV numbers for them because this vehicle wasn't available last year. I just reviewed the Venza, selling a good amount at 35,000 vehicles. RAV4 hybrid is the king of the roost when it comes to their hybrids right now. Actually, I take that back. The Sienna has actually sold more hybrids than the RAV4 hybrid. That's surprising. I didn't see that coming. So the RAV4 hybrid is only taking up about 25% of the total sales of the RAV4, which I thought it would be more at this point in time. And I know there have been months where the hybrid RAV4 has outsold the non-hybrid one. So maybe Toyota's just limited right now with their battery supply or something. But overall, the Lexus hybrids are up 26,000 to 16,000. They're up 60%. And Toyotas are just up massively, largely because of the Venza and Sienna only being hybrids. And just look at the Prius, guys. The Prius is having a great year. Look at that Prius Prime. If you break out those numbers, remember I said the Prius is up like 90%? Look at this Prius Prime. Check that out. I know they've been doing really good sales on the Prius Prime, as my 1-year-old is like, come on, Dad, come out of your office. You've already been recording forever, and I'm not even halfway done through the video. So I'll probably have like a part 1 and part 2 of this video just because, yeah, it's going to be super, super long. It should be, maybe I should live stream this in the future. Guys, if you think I should live stream this in the future, put it in the comments below. But that's going to sum up Toyota. Toyota just absolutely smashing it. On track to be the #1 selling by volume automaker here in the United States by the end of 2021. We're going to switch to Honda, and maybe I'll end episode 1, and then maybe episode 2 will be up later in the day or later next day. Okay, now we're on to Honda. Honda sales highlights. Well, let's go back to the top. Honda American carefully manages supply issues to continue sales momentum in second quarter. Honda brand manages best 4-month sales period in company history. Pilot, Passport, CRV, HRV set June sales records. Honda electrified vehicle sales achieves best ever first half sales result, their APVs. Acura SUV sales top 10,000 units in June as strong demand for the all-new MDX eclipses supply. And ILX sets a new June sales mark with its best month in 5 years. Even the ILX is selling. I know they're doing really good deals on the ILX. I see commercials for it all the time. So yes, just crazy. Honda's crushing it as well as Toyota. The two largest, actually I think Nissan might be bigger than Honda, but I don't know for how long. But anyways, yes, they're just doing really, really, really well here. Let's skip through the highlights and get down to the graph here. Let's break out the individual numbers. Civic is up, even though they're going to redesign, like starting in June. We started seeing new Civics on the road already. Accord up about 30% on the year. Clarity up about 18%. The Clarity is gone. By the way, the Clarity, I believe, is being completely canceled, if I remember correctly. The CRZ, well, they actually sold a CRZ in 2020. What the heck? Anyways, and the Fit, still selling some units. There's still some units on the lot, even though that was canceled sometime. I think it was late 2020. Insight up 41%. That's good to see, as I think the Civic has been confirmed that it's going to be getting a hybrid. Don't know if it's coming to America though. That's what the Insight already is. So maybe they kill the Insight and just make the Civic a hybrid again like it used to be. I don't know what they're gonna do there. CRV up 53%, HRV up 85%. I just feel like that segment of the market is so hot. Honda's probably incentivizing the hell out of it. We still don't have the new Vezel / HRV, and we're supposed to be getting a unique one for the American market. So 85% up for the HRV, that is mind-blowing. These are some big numbers, selling 68,000 units. I just think that specific segment of the market has really taken off in the last year. With the Seltos, if you can't get a Seltos, you're probably going to look elsewhere. I'm not saying the Seltos and the Hyundai Kona are in the venue. I see a lot of venues out there now. They're so funny looking. You have Korean competitors out there that are really, really popular. That's why Toyota wants to get into this mix with the Corolla Cross, because they're like, gosh, we can do better than the HRV. We even give you a hybrid early next year, which they're going to. So yes, that's why Toyota really wants to capitalize, because the HRV is not capitalizing on this market like this HRV is. Odyssey, minivan sales are up, guys. Like I just said, the Sienna was up massively, largely because of, you know, we needed a new Sienna for a long time and it has great fuel economy. So it's probably getting some conquest there for fuel economy alone. The Odyssey, 32% up on the year. Passport up 66%. Pilot up about 40%. Ridgeline, trucks are hot right now, 68%. I just did a review on the Ridgeline. Do not get the Sport, the base, do not do it. I was able to finally get Android Auto to work on it and Bluetooth before the truck left, but that doesn't explain why the first 30 plus minutes of it, I couldn't get it connect. Don't know. One day, I didn't do anything different, by the way. Nothing different. I just plugged it in and one day it decided to work. So whatever. ILX, 52% on the ILX up. That is just mind-blowing. The ILX just doing so well. And if Acura had a true entry-level vehicle that's up to date, and give us a Type S of it, that vehicle would be out of control in terms of sales. If the ILX, the old ILX, which looks good by the way, but it's still an old Honda Civic essentially, give us a new ILX replacement and Acura will be really, really thriving. NSX was up. They only sold 60 units so far this year. RLX, rest in peace. Rest in peace also Honda Legend, which it was based off of. It's been canceled for Japan. TLX up 63%. It's good to see the TLX getting some love here. The Type S is now out. You can buy one now. So let me know if you guys end up getting your TLX. You can always Instagram me, show me your TLX Type S. That'd be pretty sick. MDX up 104%. Their best-selling vehicle. Just crazy. And last year was not their best-selling vehicles. I think people knew that the new MDX was right around the horizon, and the new MDX outselling the more popular segment of the RDX, a lesser expensive vehicle, which RDX is, I mean, that is such a competitive segment. RDX is a good product. It's a very competitive product, but still only up 21% compared to a lot of its competition. It's just clawing out there, trying to fight with all that saturated compact crossover market. Oof, but I'm going to end episode 1 there. We'll continue episode 2 later on. I'll catch you in the next video. If you enjoy these breakdowns of sales and my impressions of it, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe so you don't miss my sales updates at the beginning of the month. Should probably just do a live stream of it. But yeah, I know that's not the most convenient thing for a lot of you guys. So guys, check in the next video and peace out.